Welcome to the live event this evening, and we're going to be getting all juicy and having loads of fun talking about flirting Taoist style. So we'll look a little bit into the theory and the philosophy of flirting. We're going to be looking not just at flirting, right? People can think that it's a shallow thing to do. I think it's a super deep, really important, really health-giving, important thing actually for us to do flirting, right? Yeah. But we're going to look into the theory of flirting, creating connection, intimacy, seduction. So this is all about creating loads of amazing juiciness without even touching anybody, right? And I'm going to say this, right, especially for you guys out there, and I'm sure most of you know it to some extent or other, but there's so much we can do with creating a connection with someone without touching. And there's a lot of people, and I've noticed like guys can be like a little needy for touch, and like if you just start kind of touching someone, which has happened to me once or twice, and maybe you're kind of meaning it in a friendly way, but out of like an insecurity, it can really like ruin any kind of like magnetism between you and the person. So I say like use loving energy strongly, and the touch, we can just say we don't need to necessarily go in there with it. In fact, what we're talking about is how to create juicy, orgasmic pleasure without even touching anybody, right? So we'll look at flirting, and I even had a guy say to me like recently in the last literally like week or two, and he's like, oh come on, flirting, seduction, this is all like stuff from the past, man. Like, you know, we don't need this stuff anymore. You know, like he thought it was a kind of a waste of time. I mean, the first thing I'm gonna say is that kind of way of looking at the world is really like deeply based in insecurity. And of course, look, if we want to be like a god or goddess in bed, yeah, if we want to be like amazing partner, amazing lover, amazing friend, and so on, right, we need to like make sure our own energy is good. We need to get ourselves like energetically into a great place. So number one, this all starts with like self-work. It all starts with the energy that we have within ourselves, because that energy we have within ourselves is what we transmit across to other people. But don't worry, because I'm going to be soon, before the end of this live, I'm going to give you like an amazing super cool hack that you can use to start creating beautiful energy within yourself and sending it across to other people, right? Now, I want to invite you to just take yourself back in time and remember when you were, for me it was when I was a teenager, right? When we were first finding out about the hormones, the feelings, when you first maybe liked a boy or liked a girl or whoever that you liked, right? And you first started getting that feeling, and maybe like you didn't know what to do, and you started getting that buildup of energy, and it was really nice, but it was kind of like, oh, you know, there was this boy I used to like, maybe I was like 12 or 10 or 11, I don't even remember, right? But I remember just walking next to him and like our arms just touching like this, and it was all we ever did was that our arms touched like this, but it was like such an amazing, incredible feeling. It was just like so exciting, so cool. Like it was just like such a get up, and we'd like giggle together shyly. And of course, like, you know, this is what we do when we're kids. Well, I'm just going to say I grew up at the time before everybody was watching porn on the internet, which I'm bloody glad about, because we had this kind of like, you know, I think that these awkward moments of like finding things out for yourself and fumbling in the dark and so on are a pretty important part of your like sexual self-development. Anyways, not to go too much off on a tangent about that, but the point is that flirting is all about that amazing like teenage youthful energy, and it's about connecting into that youthful energy. Now, if you're in like a long-term relationship, and I talk to a lot of people in long-term relationships where sex turned into like a chore, a routine, you know, where it just became like a kind of a sneeze in a handkerchief, or like a way of getting like negative energy out of your body, basically. And then the relationships, right, they just go sexless. One person, it just all gets a bit much. Often the woman, not necessarily, sometimes the man, they just don't want to do it anymore. It's kind of understandable. I mean, like, sex is something that, you know, I think without the various aspects to it, maybe it works a little bit on an adrenalized level, but really it just kind of goes, you know, it kind of gets boring, and then it gets worse than boring, and then it just gets bad, and then it just gets traumatic. And that's just, I'm talking about normal boring sex with people that aren't particularly intimate, in the sense like they're not sharing themselves with each other, and they're not particularly connected. And this is what's unfortunately happening, like, in a lot of relationships. Now, flirting, obviously we think, okay, when we first meet a person, we should flirt, we should, you know, but if you're in a relationship, I think it's even more important for you to be listening to this, because creating like a strong connection and flirting in your relationship is what keeps the relationship alive, and it's what stops the relationship from kind of just going dry, right? So having tips and techniques to flirt, right, is really, really important. And when we're flirting, we're kind of like sending across energy to someone, right? So in a sense, what we're doing is we're sending our energy, you know? So if I look at me and I'm maybe having a little flirt with you guys out there, right? Because flirting doesn't have to be like sexual, and it doesn't, I think it's best when we're not thinking, oh, well, they better give me some after that I've put all this effort into flirting, because it's not really a genuine flirting. Because really what we want it to do is we want it coming from our hearts. We want the beautiful energy that genuinely is us coming from our hearts, you know? So it's a little bit like, you know, for me, there's like a little bit of shyness going on in there. There's also a little bit of like the sparkle that I just feel is kind of me, you know? And just sending that across to the person, connecting in with myself, that is just me wanting to have a little bit of fun. And there's definitely, like, I would say there's a lot to my personality that's quite sort of, you know, I like doing fun things. I like being a little cheeky. I like being a little naughty, not too over the top, but, you know, anyways. And this is what I send across. And essentially this is what flirting is all about. But when we flirt, the kind of success and the failure of it has a lot to do with like our relationship with ourselves and the own energy within ourselves. So when we look at, like, you know, we want to like be doing self-development work is really, really important. I mean, they say the most important dating tip is to have therapy. I would add that meditate. And I would add to that, practice Taoist alchemy and practice Taoist sexual alchemy, so that you're creating loads of beautiful, vital, juicy energy within yourself. You're nicely comfortable with and connected with your sexuality. And what you're sending across is beautiful, because of course, if you're like fatigued, you're run down, you're like not feeling good or whatever, you know, it's going to somehow come across negatively. Now, people watching, welcome, so happy to see you here. Give me a like, give me a whatever symbol, let me know that you're here. Drop me a comment, ask me any questions. If you really love me, you can feel free to give me stars, if the star thing seems to be working, because you can give me stars, right? Yeah. But drop me a like or drop me a dislike if you don't like me, so that I know that you've been watching. Or you can drop a question, ask any questions, and I'm going to go over the questions, right? So now I want to get into a practice with everybody. So I hope that you're sitting like nice and comfortably, right? Get ready, okay? We're just going to be working on our own energy here. So you can have like a little move, a little, yeah, just get some energy flowing, connect into yourself. And just before we do this, I'm going to tell you a little bit of Taoist theory, okay, right? Because this is going to help you to understand what we're doing, right? So Taoism understands the body as a science of energy, right? You don't need to know the whole thing, right? But basically, we've got one kind of energy called Jing, comes out of our pussy, comes out of our cock, comes from right down between the legs. And that Jing gives us a nice feeling of arousal energy, right? That's half of the sexuality. The other half is in the heart, and it's an energy called Shen. And actually the Shen is a kind of a spirit, in fact, right? Okay, so we're about to do a practice, guys. We're about to do a meditation. We're about to connect in with ourselves, with our juicy, beautiful energy, and find this lovely energy that we're going to use to flirt today, tomorrow, over the new year, through the whole. We're flirting with someone we don't know. And of course, flirting, it can be, do it with a pure heart. Don't flirt with creepy energy, because if you just flirt too much with your sexual energy, it's going to come across as like a little bit weird and a little bit creepy. The idea being that what we're doing is we're taking that yummy, juicy Jing from down in the pussy, down in the cock, and we're bringing it up into our heart. We're mixing it in there with the Shen, and then we're connecting from that person. And when we connect in that way, what we're doing is never going to come across as creepy, right? So here's an exercise, right? What we're going to do, the way we're going to connect in with the energy, okay? Very easy to do, okay? It's all based on the theory that wherever your attention goes, the energy flows. So I invite you to just first of all shut your eyes. So allow your eyelids to drop down, and you can notice that although your eyelids are shut, obviously the eyes can still see, but they're covered up by the eyelids, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to use our intention, and we're going to direct the gaze. We're going to go like we're looking right backwards into the brain, down the throat, and into our hearts. And we're going to place our hands over our hearts and connect in with that beautiful Shen spirit. So the Shen spirit is actually our personality, our spirit in a way, but it's also the feeling of love. So we have Shen with a capital S and Shen with a small s actually. So we're talking about a love energy as one, and our own original spirit. Because when we flirt, we want to really be authentically bringing out whoever we are, how secure, insecure, weird, quirky, or whatever you are, right? We're almost like emphasizing it a bit and covering it with love to make it into this juicy, incredible, really nice, beautiful thing. Okay, so placing the hand over your heart, we're going to smile to our heart, smile to the Shen, and we're going to send unconditional, beautiful, beautiful, loving energy, non-judgmental, just absolutely loving ourselves for what we are, whoever we are, whatever you did today, whatever mistakes you made this year, it does not matter. We are sending 100% unconditional love. And feel that growing like a kind of fire inside your chest, like a kind of a red color of love, joy, happiness. And you can also send your attention down and smile to your pussy, or indeed smile to your cock, or whatever you've got down there. Whatever you want to call him, her, meow, woof woof. And connect in with that juicy Jing energy. And just feel it, and you can wiggle a bit, move a little bit. Notice how that energy is a really revitalizing force, and smiling into it. Then connect back up into your heart and just bring that juiciness into your heart, and you can just move a little bit. Smile a little bit, feel that red, lovely, juicy, loving energy. Feel that little Shen spirit. You can feel the Shen like a little child sitting inside your heart. And feel the Shen energy, which is like the red love all around the little red Shen spirit. And now what we're going to do is we're going to become aware that the eyes are the doorway to the soul. So actually, you know, when you look at people and you see that beautiful sparkly thing going on in their eyes, it makes you feel like, wow, super juicy. And that is Shen in the person's eyes, right? So that's the Shen coming up to the eyes. We actually say the Shen comes up, and we see it in the sparkle of the eyes. So now, using that intention, taking that Shen from feeling from the eyes, let's look back down into the heart, connect with our Shen spirit and our Shen love. And then we're going to bring the attention back up through the throat, through the brain, into the eyes, and we're going to literally bring that juicy, gorgeous energy from our hearts, and we're going to bring it into our eyes, and we're going to open our eyes. So feeling that connection coming up from your pussy into your heart, into your eyes. Taking some nice, long, deep breaths. And allowing that beautiful energy to fill your shoulders, fill your arms, fill your body. And feeling that intention of your spirit in your eyes. And sending the energy from your eyes, from your spirit. And visualize that you're sending that across to the person that you're trying to connect with. So when you want to connect next time with someone, what I suggest you can do is connect with that energy from your eyes. And you can even take it another step, which is if you then put your shoulders back and cross your arms and feel that feeling of energy in your heart, and actually send that energy from your heart across to them. So like it's like a red energy, and we say it connects best when we're like 1 meter apart. So even just before you even open your mouth, if you've done that exercise, you've connected into your heart, you've brought that beautiful loving Shen up into your eyes, you're connecting to the person, you're sending that love across. Sometimes there isn't even the need to say too much, except to say what genuinely and authentically comes from this place. Because I do realize a lot of people are actually scared to flirt because they're scared they're going to be accused of something, Me Too, they're going to be, accused of harassment or something like that. And the thing is that when we flirt from that loving place in our heart, it's not really going to go wrong because it's just a loving energy. The worst we can do is not have too much energy, and then it's just going to mean we need to work more on creating more energy. But when people kind of come across with this kind of raw sexual energy just coming straight out of their genitals, it can be a little bit too much for people, and that's what a lot of like the claims of sexual harassment basically come from. But bring that energy up, bring it into your heart, and send it juicily across, and it comes out completely differently. So I'd love to know, how did this exercise go? Am I getting comments here? I think that people have commented, but for some reason I can't read them. See if I can find it here on my computer. Have I got any questions here? I'm sure that some people have put questions and that I've missed them, that I can't see them on my computer, so I'm just checking if I've got any questions down here. If somebody wants to join me, okay, I have David, flirting from the heart, it feels good, gentle. Yes, because I think we do need to be like sensitive with the energies that we're sending across to people, because I mean, I've noticed this with like dates I've gone on with people where I've just, I'm very sensitive to energy and aware about what I want, but where I've seen like mistakes, like so many times again and again. And a lot of it comes down to like insecurity, because when we're not like secure within ourselves, right? And then basically, you know, what can kind of happen is we just almost disassociate a little bit and send the wrong energy across. I mean, I think that definitely like we, even if we're in a partnership with someone, just sending across raw sexual energy at the beginning is not a great thing to do. And the thing is that the more that we connect with someone, and I do think giving them the space to feel safe, whether it's a man, whether it's a woman, I think it's really important. You know, I'm definitely one, like, I think we can send so much energy across and get such an amazing, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous feeling going between a person without having to just clumsily like put our hands on them, like out of insecurity, you know. And I do think we should respect, like, another person's body is a temple, our body is a temple. When we're just clumsily like touching other people, you know, with a kind of a sexual intention behind it, it's not only that it just can be a bit weird, but I think also like the longer you kind of allow the energy to build up and make the person want you before you actually do something, right, the more they're going to feel, and the more like amazing and magnetic and dynamic is going to be. So hey guys, look, if you're watching me, please do put me a star, please do put me a heart. You can put an angry symbol if you hate what I'm saying, or crying if you think I'm completely off, but just let me know you're here. Drop me a comment. Any questions? Come on, we have like 5 minutes to answer questions. And for some reason, I can't see the questions on the sorry, the comments. Yeah, for some reason I can't see the comments coming up on the phone, which I'm live on. So I'm trying to like check down here on my computer. Oh yeah, what's happening here? 17 comments and. Anybody want to join me here in the live? Joey, do you want to ask me any questions? You want to come on live with me? If anybody's got anything they want to ask. I don't know why, like, if there's some questions that I've somehow missed or something. It's seeming like... So Joey, we just did, I saw you just joined me, it told you we just did like a beautiful flirting practice where we practice learning like Taoist techniques to be able to connect across to another person, right? So let's just look, right, at another little tip, right? So we've gone in, right? We've maybe, like, if you're like a shy person, especially you're approaching someone you like, you haven't, you know, you haven't done it, or maybe you're approaching your partner, maybe you're feeling like you need to just raise the vibes a little bit as well, you know, you smile into your heart, you've got that juicy Shen energy coming up into your eyes, you're connecting across, you're sending the energy from your heart across. Like, another exercise I like is to just, because flirting, it is a very youthful thing, and this is why I was saying, like, I think it's so important for our health, because if we want to like be healthy, we want to connect in with youthful energy. If we want to like connect in with youthful energy, we need to connect in with the youthful parts of ourselves, essentially, right? Yeah. So when we connect in with that youthful energy, and I find it can help me to just actually like go into a time when I was like a teenager, when I was first exploring love, sensations, connections, and so on, and to basically like connect across from that energy and really just almost like visualize myself. Like, you can shut your eyes for a few moments, imagine that you're like 16, and connect across as that person that's that age. So and then come across with this like really youthful energy. And you can even do a meditation about it. So like before you can meditate, really connect in with like youthful feelings that you had, as well as this beautiful loving energy. And I think definitely just connecting into who you are and just really having like a think through, like, what's my authentic behavior? What's me acting out of trauma? What's me acting out of programming? What's me acting out of fear? And just go into, hey, this is me, right? and me we find here in the heart. Elliot again coming to join me, looks like. So um I definitely would say that that connecting in with that, having a little meditation, like even creating a little ritual, creating a little ceremony, getting in touch with youthful energy. Hi, Elliot, how are you doing?
Hey, hey. For some reason, I have the worst audio trouble when it comes to getting on live. I don't. Whoop. Whoops. Anyway, can you hear me all right?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Oh, just fine at work, finishing up. It's been kind of a rough day, but at the same time, I had some time to do the six healing sounds, and I feel better. So that worked out. But I did have some clarity questions on what you were saying about flirting. Now, it was from the heart down to the genitals, back up to the heart, and back up to the eyes, right?
Right, yes. So, I mean, the main thing is we want the heart and the Shen active, right? But I do think checking in, because we don't want to ignore the sexual energy because it's there. Yeah, let's not, pretend it's not there, because when we pretend it's not there, that's when we kind of get it blocked and get it going stagnant and acting weird, right? So, yeah, connect with the love down into the juicy feeling, right? And
Right.
then bring that juicy feeling back up. I know that you know how to do that. Bring that up into the heart, and then when you've got that nice alchemical mix going on in your heart, to actually check and connect back down in there with, and kind of grab that energy and then bring it up again into your eyes and literally use your intention to feed it into sort of creating a loving sparkle in your eyes.
Oh, that's good. I do remember that one from the exercise when going through the course the first time. Uh, though I did mention earlier in the fact that you can't read the comments, maybe it's like a swipe issue. I know when I'm watching your live, I have to like swipe left to get like comments, and then I swipe right to put it away or whatever. Anyway,
Oh.
maybe you could, yeah, maybe you could shed some light on this one.
Oh,
I have
now
been
I
told,
can see
yeah,
comments. I can see some comments. Joey woke up late. Good morning, Joey.
that me saying that was just killing me. That's one of the reasons I got on. But
Yeah.
I I was curious. I have been told for most of my life, throughout most of my life, that I'm a huge flirt. And even when I'm not intending anything like that, but even when I'm just talking to someone, it's just like it comes out. Is that like an overabundance of sexual energy that you were talking about?
You know, the thing is, we want this sexual energy to transform. If we've got loads of sexual energy and it's not transforming, that's when it kind of gets stagnant and icky and frustrating and creepy and weird, right?
Yeah.
When we're and that can happen to any one of us, right? When we're transforming the energy and bringing it up into the heart, it transforms, right? It becomes like love. So this, when energy is transformed in the heart, what it's going to do is it's going to spread through the heart, it's going to spread through the body and the tissues, and it's going to spread out into the aura. So when so much sexual energy comes up, and if it's transforming, we're going to have a whole aura full of this beautiful, like transformed, loving energy that's just showering it out effortlessly around on other people, that other people are going to really like feel. And basically, so I don't think when we've done the work of transforming it, I don't really think it can come across in a bad way. It's more like when the energy's all stuck down there and someone comes across, all right, darling, being all creepy, right? And you're like, oh, get away from me, please. That often is just cocks or whatever pussy straight to receiver, and that's the energy that can be like badly received, basically.
Right. Hmm. Well, that kind of clears things up for me. I'm good. Do you have anything you want to ask me?
Say that again.
That kind of clears up everything I wanted to know. Do you have anything you wanted to ask me?
No, I think that's cool. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Thank you for
I should,
coming on and
uh,
clarifying that.
thank you for having me. I got to go see you to my clients. You have a good one, guys. Be well. I'll still be here.
Okay. Lovely to see you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, so I think I found some questions here. I don't know why I can't read all the comments, but oh yeah, 23 comments. So show me the comments or not? No. So I want to invite you, if you've been watching, do give me a heart or give me a thumbs up. Or if you don't like what I'm saying, give me a tear, give me an angry symbol. Just let me know you've been here, right? Let me know your thoughts. Enjoy the rest of the evening. If you're with your most beloved, do feel free to flirt. And I do think like some amount of like flirting, non-sexual flirting, flirt with the old lady on the bus, make her feel young and alive again. I do think it's a beautiful way to like keep our body young, to keep the thymus gland nice and healthy, which helps keeps our cells nice and healthy and keeps us feeling and looking nice and young and nice and gorgeous. So have a beautiful, gorgeous evening, guys. All right.